am back for reading lesson number 3. More informational text about nature. Today is about flowing rivers. So you'll see the bold title up there. Flowing is capitalized, rivers is capitalized. This one has a lot of paragraphs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the first page. Let's see. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And a picture with a caption. The flowing rivers they talk about today in the informational text are in Colorado, which is on the way to California. So if you ever make your way out to see the redwoods and you drive, you could stop in Colorado and see the rivers and the canyons. You're going to find the answers to these questions in the writing. What I want you to do today, though, is when you find this answer, I want you to circle it with any color of your choice in the reading. So let's do an example. If I read all of Flowing Rivers, then I go to question number 11. It's the first question. It says, the author most likely wrote this to what? To tell the readers fun stories about rivers, to explain how rivers carry soil and rocks, to describe how rivers flow down to oceans, to tell how rivers affect earth and people. Well, we start out with a really tricky one. If we look at paragraph 1, have you ever seen a river? A river is water that flows across land. Moving water is a strong force. Rivers affect the earth and people in many ways. So right here at the bottom of paragraph 1, I'm going to circle that sentence with a color. I don't care, you choose purple, blue, green, yellow. And then I'm going to answer D. They wrote the article to tell how rivers affect the earth and people, because that's what the whole article is about. And that's similar to if we were writing a paragraph about rivers and how they affect the earth and people, we would want our opening sentence to tell us that. Well, their opening paragraph tells us that's what it's going to be about. Let's do another one. Read this sentence from the article. At its beginning, a river can be as narrow as a rope. So yesterday they compared redwoods to a 35-story skyscraper. Today they're comparing a river to being so narrow, so skinny, it's the size of a rope, like a jump rope. Wow, that's really interesting. So why does the author compare a river to a rope? So what I want you to do in the article is find where they compare a river to a rope and circle it, but then answer why. To show that a river starts at a mountain? It doesn't really make any sense. To show how small a river may be? Probably, but let's check all our answers. To show how water runs downhill, and to show how rivers are big. Yeah, they're comparing how small it is to a rope. So G. Okay, next one, and then you're kind of on your own. Read this sentence. In some places, a river can be as wide as a town. So some places it's as skinny as a rope. Some places it's as wide as an entire town. They're comparing again. So you need to find that place in the article and circle it, and then choose your answer to tell me what it means. Let me go through the others real quick just to see if there's anything that you would need help with. But I think you can find all of these details in the article. So 14, what key detail supports the topic that rivers change the land? So you have to find the area in the article where rivers are changing the land, and then which one is true. What clue in the article best supports how rivers affect people? Now they made the word best all capitalized because all of these might be true, but one of them is very true. So you're gonna find that, circle it in the article, and answer. Rivers are like powerful sandpaper. Oh, now they're comparing to sandpaper. So they've compared a river today to a jump rope for being small, to a whole town for being wide, and to sandpaper. And I wonder why. Let's see, what do they say about rivers and sandpaper? Because I'm gonna have to circle it in a color when I find it. Let me see. I see where they're comparing a river to a town and a rope. Rivers change the land. As rivers flow, they carry away rocks. I'm on the 5th paragraph on the first page. The rocks scrape away more rocks. This changes the area around the river. Over time, these changes can be big. Rivers can carve away the sides of mountains. Rivers are like powerful sandpaper because they're changing the rocks and the land around them. It's like rubbing it off. The flowing water is rubbing off all the rocks, like sandpaper you use to rub off wood and make it smooth. That's what it's doing to the earth. Okay, so you're going to circle that area. Number 17 says, which sentence from the article is a simile? Now, you didn't know the word simile, but a simile is when you compare two things. So a simile is when you compare the mouth of a river to a rope. When you compare how wide a river is to a town. When you compare the rushing water to sandpaper, those are all similes. You're comparing two things. I'm as fast as a cheetah. I'm as strong as a giant. So, which one is a simile? Have you ever seen a river? And that's just the question. Rivers are powerful and important. Yes, that's true, but they're not comparing it to anything. In this way, rivers are like highways. That's the simile, because in the story they said boats carry things from one place to another on rivers. People travel from place to place on rivers too. In this way, rivers are like highways. So because people go back and forth and they take goods, things that people need back and forth, it's like a highway, like 465. So that's a simile. It's a comparison. Number 18. Many towns and cities were built next to rivers. What's the author's purpose for telling us that? Why do they tell us that? Don't forget to go circle that sentence, though, in the story. And then 19 and 20, I think you'll be fine. That's all for today. Hope you learned a lot about redwoods and rivers. You guys know that nature is one of my very favorite things. All right, see you tomorrow.